Okay, how do you pick your citizenship option when you're actually looking? Today there are so many different options that you can choose from for citizenship by investment. I remember, back in the real early 2000s, even going back to the latter part of the 1990s, you didn't have anywhere close to the number of options that you've got today. And in fact, you didn't have hardly anything in Europe. Austria had a program that was about 2 million US years and years ago. Then we were talking about 20 years ago. But now you've got so much to choose from. How do you pick these options and kind of narrow them down? I'll tell you some things that can really help you make a good decision. Is you want to look at visa-free travel. That's one key thing. But most people are looking for a plan B, where if they leave their country, where are they going to go? And you want to pick a place that you like, but you also want to pick a place. Most of our viewers that watch this, they're looking for a place that has little to no taxes. And of course, pure tax savings are the best because you can have a local business, or you can have a business outside the country and pay no taxes and no income taxes. And so this is what you want to be looking for. Visa-free travel. Try to get your tax, or at least have the opportunity to get it down to zero. And you also want to be in a place that, that speaks your language. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make, though, is when they get a passport or citizenship program, they don't look at the option, what happens if they end up leaving their country? Are they going to like the tax system of this place they're getting the passport in? Okay, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I see so many mistakes being made on this because your life changes so much, and your ideas and the way that you think. You're going to think so much different in 10 years from now, I promise you, than you do today. 20 years is going to be totally the opposite. I mean, I had no idea 20 years ago my life would be totally changed what it is today. Just a lot of things change in your life. So what I would be telling you to do is, if you don't like income taxes, stick with pure tax savings, number one, okay? Because they're also less likely to change the tax laws to where they're taxing worldwide income. Costa Rica almost did it, and there was an outrage of people that just couldn't. They just went nuts when Costa Rica started to come out and tax worldwide income, and they changed it back real quick. But a territorial tax system, in my opinion, is a lot more likely to change their tax laws than a pure tax haven. So these are some really guidelines you ought to take in consideration when you're picking a place, because I see so many people get passports. They say, I'll never move to the place, even if it has high taxes. I'll give you an example. Turkey is a good example. Okay, I see a lot of people that will pick Turkey. I say a lot, there's a few they're basically uninformed. Okay, they'll pick Turkey over St. Kitts, and then after they do it, they'll look back and kick themselves in the butt. And the reason is Turkey taxes high income taxes worldwide if you live there. The visa-free travel is not good. You don't have visa-free the Schengen countries, and you got basically a dictator running the country. Okay? It's got almost every negative that you want, and on top of the lira has been awful. I mean, you go back in time, and the lira has been constantly a down currency. It's almost like the Venezuela currency, but it's got a worse track record than Venezuela long term, because it's constantly gone down. Now, what I would be doing, and by the way too, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do three things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen. You get new videos automatically as they come out. And folks, don't forget to hit the notification bell next to it. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. Number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. So what you want to do is pick a country that, because a lot of people, I'll be honest with you, most people that are U.S. citizens that get a second passport, they actually don't ever, it's more of an insurance policy. Most of them don't relinquish their U.S. citizenship. A small fraction of them do. They do it as an insurance purpose, and they also do it because they might want to keep their U.S. passport and participate in the foreign overseas exclusion and more easily set up a business in St. Kitts, wherever you're going to go. Because if you go to the place that you're a citizen in, it's so much easier to get things done. You don't get blocked out a lot of business opportunities and things like this. So these are the things you want to be looking for. And I know a lot of people say, well, Tom, I'm not really concerned with moving that country. I'll never do it. I see that happen all the time. People change their minds, and then they end up hating the tax system from the country they got their second passport in, and then they end up forking out more money to try to change that real quick. And also, I'll tell you some other things too that so many people just don't take for granted is the fact that they'll go out and they'll pick a country that they can't speak the language, and they go to that country, and it's so confusing, folks, when you don't know that language. You go and you pick a passport in Turkey, trying to get people that speak fluent English, just a real pain in the butt. So much easier working through a country where you speak that current language already. It makes so much difference in all your planning, and you just waste so much time. Trying to get everything done, trying to get through with some sort of language barrier problem. So it's just so much easier, especially if you're still working and you don't have a lot of time wasted, in your hands. You want to be in a place that you can speak that language. I can't overemphasize that enough. Now, you're going to go to some places that not everything's going to be perfect. That's going to happen. You're changing countries, whether you're from Canada, the U.S., Australia, whatever. You got to realize that when you end up switching countries, there's going to be differences, okay? You're going to have customs, just different sort of language barrier issues. There's a lot of different things that you got to be looking at when you end up doing an international move. And these are some things that you have to think about ahead of time. Now, one of the things too that you want to look at is, of course, is cost. And I wanted to go over that with you today too. And that is, if you're looking to get citizenship and you're kind of on the fence between the donation option, the real estate option, there's so many factors you have to look at. One of the things I would tell you, whenever you go with a donation option, 100% that all that money is going to go out the window, okay? Now, if you go with the real estate option, you're still going to have fees too on top of the real estate, but it's the fees that won't come back to you is a lot less. All right, but as I mentioned to you before, we've got a builder right now. They've got a few units left. If you're looking to get all your government fees, your background check fees, your legal fees, these are your attorney fees. If you're looking to get all that stuff paid for, man, this is like a huge savings, especially if you've got a big family, because it can cut way back on what you're spending. And the key thing too is you're able to utilize that money in property where 100% of it is being invested, where you're not throwing it basically out the window in a big tax. But these are some things that you have to think about. Now, also we've got one option right now that's a real estate option, where they will actually take the money that you're supposed to get in rent. They're going to upfront that over 5 years. What you be getting over 5 years, they upfront that upfront to you, and then it's up to the developer to get the renters in there and do something as far as that goes. And that takes a lot off you, because what it does is it puts you in. You don't have to spend time trying to get renters. You don't have to worry about renters being out of the place. You don't have to mess with the place. It's just investing the money, and then all the money's given to you up front. And then you can take that money and invest it, whatever you want to put in, cryptocurrency, if you want to put it in, some sort of equities or whatever you want to put. But then you're getting use of that money up front by being invested. And then what can that make for you, over that 5-year period, instead of having to wait 5 years before you get those funds? That's the big key there. So anyway, folks, if you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions, hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We got over almost 700 videos out there today. This is where you're going to pick up a lot of good tips to make good decisions. So you won't have to be paying and doing things different later. It's going to be very costly for you. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.